Hey Facebook family! Welcome to the Come Cook With Me show, and we are live. My name is Laura Hall, and I hope that I hit the, oh I did, somebody popped on. Hi! I don't have my glasses on, so I'm just going to say good afternoon. Hey Joseph! Hey Michelle! So glad that you guys could come join us. Hey Kevin, great to see you. So today's show is just such an incredible, wonderful side dish for your holiday cooking. So whether or not you're going to use this recipe, you could use it for if you're going to a holiday party and you want to bring a side dish. It's a perfect hors d'oeuvre. You could bring some slices of crusty dough bread to put alongside of it, like little crostinis right next to the serving tray that you're going to put it on, and it goes really, really, really great with a holiday meal. So we use it every holiday. Hey, thank you for the love. We use it every holiday for our Christmas dinner. So you could use it for your Hanukkah. You could use it, you know, I mean, it's just a wonderful, wonderful side dish. And it's a Burgundy mushrooms, very hearty, very flavorful. Really, when you're done with the mushrooms, save the broth because the broth is unbelievable. It makes the best onion soup, like French onion soup. If you've ever had a really, really good cooked French onion soup, this is like one of the rock star things that you can do with the broth that's left over because it's just so yummy. So you don't want to get rid of the broth. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to a holiday party tonight, so I'm having a little bit of my liquid gold, and I put some fruits in it because just that's how I love it. I love it every day that way. So, you know the drill. If you're new to the show and you don't know the drill, here's what we do. We say hello, who we are. Thanks for the love. I'm just loving all of that. Thank you so much. It's just so nice to see everybody come back. And again, I'm honored that you all come back and share this show with everybody. It's just such a wonderful community, and I've learned so much sharing my recipes with you all. But if you're new to the show, here's what we do. We say hello in our community, who we are, where we're from, and all you have to do is post that in the comments right there, just to say hello. And when you do, at the end of the week, so today, I put everybody who's made a comment on all of the shares and so forth, and on this particular page right here, I put you in a random generator, just kind of it's an electronic spin, and you get a chance to win these incredible spices. And I'll go through them when I actually show what we're doing here in the Instapot. But there's another opportunity that if you share this on your own personal Facebook wall, like you just hit that share button right there, right to the right. Sometimes it might be a little different on different phones, but just hit the share button and share it to your wall. And when you share it to your wall, I try to post the pictures. I don't get to everybody's share. I try, but I don't get, but I mostly try to give you a picture of the image at the end of what it looks like when we played everything. But when you share it to your wall, you get a chance to be entered to win our incredible nutrition shakes. So I'm a health food coach, and I just love to share this incredible nutrition with as many people as I can. And so this is just a fun way that if you share this particular video, you get entered to win as well. So there's two opportunities to win. Just say, hey, hello, who you are, where you're from. It's just really nice to be a part of this community to do that. And then if you want a chance to win the shake, which is phenomenal, and actually we still have some bars because they came back, the s'mores came back. So if you get a chance, you'll get a chance to win those as well. So we are doing Burgundy mushrooms, and we always do it, if you're new to the show, we always do it in the slow cooker traditional style, crock pot, because that's really what I grew up with cooking on. And then my newest, funnest gadget, which is the Instapot. Now you can have a fast cooker, it could be an electric, you know, it's just a pressure cooker, really, basically, but it's updated in like mega speeds. So I have to say that when I learned how to cook, you know, for years, our family lived off of the crock pot for years. I mean, I can't even tell you how many crock pots we've gone through in our family. But just recently, this year, I found the Instapot, and it's been so much fun to cook my recipes in both styles just to see which one wins. And invariably, you know, there's always a close one. But this recipe, this is one of my own recipes. I got it from a friend of mine, and then I've, over the years, kind of just changed it, enhanced it, just to fit my style of cooking. And the recipe is in the comments here too, so a lot of you asked for the recipe, and I now have been so smart and strategic to go ahead and post it in the post itself, so you have the recipe that you can kind of follow along. But as you watch me cook, you'll see that I try to follow what the recipe is, but I really go by color, I go by what's happening. Now in the Instapot, you pretty much, you're set with what you put in is what you get out. So you do kind of have to be a little careful on that. Sometimes I put in a little bit too much spice, or not quite the right spice, or not spicy enough. I mean, that, you know, we're very spicy kind of people, so we love that. So the slow cooker, it's very hot. I can't even lift it up. I can, well, if I lift it up, all you would see is the steam. So this has been cooking for, it's got about 2 more hours left to go. And in the crock pot, I just want to share with you, once you get all the ingredients in, you just put the ingredients in, but you're going to cook it for 6 hours, and then you're going to take the lid off and then cook it for another 2 more hours, okay? And I gave you a couple of variations in the actual recipe, but this is a very important tip right here if you're doing it slow cooker style. But you know you can do this recipe. It's so great if you just cook it low and slow on the stove as well. You can do it either way, whichever way you prefer. So now we're going to go ahead and do the Instapot and get started with cooking in the Instapot. I love this. I love it. All right. So, oh, I forgot to say who won. Let's go ahead and get started cooking first, and then we'll come back and share with who won. Don't let me do that. Most people like me to get started now and start cooking because, well, we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to get started cooking. All right. So in the Instapot, you're going to start off with the liquids, okay? So I use, I got a great deal. It was a buy one, get one free. I love buy one, get one free. But you want to get a decent body, you know, heavy cab, Bordeaux, just really heavily bodied. The heavier, the better in this particular recipe, in my opinion. But this was a buy one, get one free, so I love BOGOs. And I put 1.5 bottles in here. So, you know, roughly 1.5 liters is what you're going to want. So these bottles are 750 milliliters. So we're going to do 1 bottle and put in the half. Now, you may need to have a little extra on the side, and I have a bottle that wasn't finished. So those are always great to use if you have cooking wine that you haven't finished from the week or, you know, previous week. If you were having wine on the weekend, it's wonderful to just use that up as well. Okay, so I'm going to put those aside. All right, I'm going to get my glasses on so I can actually read everything. Okay, so you're going to want to get your bone broths. Now, a lot of you have recipes, if you've ever done a Burgundy mushrooms before, you've seen them with bouillon cubes. Well, I think bouillon cubes were great a long time ago, but they're really not necessary anymore. Again, my opinion as a cook. So I really love the benefits of bone broth in anything that I cook with. You'll see, if you look at my previous shows on my YouTube channel, which is Lifestylebylauraj, you will see that I use bone broth in everything. Instead of even a chicken, you know, like instead of a chicken broth, I use bone broth. So in this recipe, we're going to do 2 8-ounce of beef bone broth and 2 8-ounce of chicken bone broth. And so that's what we're going to do here. And the other thing I was going to share with you is what I love about this bone broth. I use, there's a lot of varieties out there, but what you want to look for is you want to look for the lower calories and the lower sodium content. And so this particular one is not the normal brand that I have been getting. I've been getting the Imagine. But because I'm only using 2 small containers, I'm going to just use up what I had in the, if you saw the show, every Wednesday, I come live at the grocery store and I say, what's in the cart? So you can see what you have to pick up. Hey Keith, how are ya? Good to see you. Hey Roseanne. you know, in the shopping cart on Wednesday, I usually come live about 1:30 and share with you what you need to purchase in order to do the show with me if you're going to cook with me. But in the actual footage, you'll see I use the big containers. But I had these in the pantry, so I wanted to go ahead and use them. All right, so now I've got 2 bone beef broths going in. And really, there's only difference between these two. You can see the color. One is beef, the other's chicken. Okay, so you're going to get these liquids in. Yeah. And I'm just going to go ahead and put all the liquids in before I put the mushrooms in. Perfect. Okay, so the next one is, I'm going to talk about 2 different things. I have in the past, before I found liquid aminos, I have used Worcestershire. Now that I found liquid aminos, I don't use the Worcestershire much in anything anymore, really, hardly at all. But if you only have Worcestershire and you don't have aminos, by all means, use it. I just think that it has the reason why is I just feel that it has, if you look at the ingredients, it just has too much sodium in it. I mean, I'm not really fan of molasses, and I'm not really a fan of the sugar that's in it. So it's just my preference, but again, it's not a bad thing to use. So the other thing that goes really great in these mushrooms, although I'm not going to make it this way, is if you use a 1.5 sticks or a stick of butter. It just really creates that creamier texture in the broth and into the mushrooms, infusing into the mushrooms. But I'm going to use extra virgin olive oil, and I'm using a robust, and I'm using a non-GMO. Most everything you'll see me use is non-GMO because it's all about toxins and what GMOs are doing to our bodies and endocrine disruptors. I mean, it's wreaking havoc. So I try to stay away from non-GMOs, and I try to stay away from GMO food or anything that's processed, and I try to stay with organic. So that's one of the tips that I really strive for. So I'm going to put in about a 1/4 cup of robust. I've got the robust kind of extra virgin olive oil. And again, you can choose this or butter. It's really fine. And then I'm going to use a 1/4 cup, about a 1/4 cup, maybe an 1/8 cup of aminos. And these are the coconut liquid aminos instead of soy sauce, instead of the Worcestershire. I'll just show you what it looks like. I love them. Again, these are gluten-free, non-GMO, no MSG, and they're vegan. That's what I love about them. So awesome. So awesome. Okay. And then, one of the best parts of this, and how it just changes the flavor, the dynamic. This is one of the things that I absolutely love about this recipe. This is the additional piece that I put on, is the balsamic, aged balsamic vinaigrette. What I love about this particular one that I found, again, it's non-GMO, which I love. It's organic, and it doesn't have a caramel coloring in it. So there's not additional, I mean, it's just really basically vinegar, aged, beautiful. So that's what you want, as much as the naturalness as you can get out of it. But let me tell you, the flavor that this brings out in the mushrooms, just amazing. Okay. Now we're going to add our onion. I went ahead and diced an onion. I'm going to go ahead and add that in. And then what's nice about this recipe, because you're really not, you can take these sprigs out. I've already washed these. I've got some sprigs of oregano, and I've got about 7 basil leaves. And then I'm going to show you this turmeric root. You can't find it all the time. If you can't, you can just use ground turmeric. But it looks like this when you grate it. Yum. Just going to dump that in. And be careful when you grate this. I don't know if you can see, but my hand is still, I still have the yellow stain from it. It stains easily. Beautiful. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and do the spices. I'm just going to put some black pepper in. And this is the other reason I don't add the mushrooms in until I can actually see what the pot's going to look like. And I've got some hot Hungarian paprika. Again, take a look, it's non-GMO and it's organic. You want to use something that's nice and spicy, so I've got actually 2 spicy items here. I've got some Cajun seasoning right here. And I love, 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 if you can find it in your store, the Japanese 7 spice. Just looks like that. This is so yummy. It's just amazing. I love this. And I actually shake it up to make sure I get some of that orange peel in it. And just put it in. Okay, good done. Okay, and we want to add some cumin. Oh, this is a brand new bottle. Oh, if you could just smell it, so yummy. And then we've got our Danos spices. So these are wonderful spices. I love our Danos. So somebody who's watching, who's a fan of Danos, who received Danos, you can actually post the link if you don't mind in the comments section. But Dano is a member on my team, in my nutrition team, and he's an incredible cook, chef, and he's developed these spices all on his own. They're Kentucky proud. He's out of Kentucky. So if you're in Kentucky, you can find these usually in the local, gourmet store. But if you can't, you can always buy them online. And so these are what you get a chance to win. There's the savory one, which is green, and then there's a little bit of a spicier one, which is red. Love these spices. I am telling you, I'm addicted to my grilled vegetables. That's all I put on my grilled vegetables now. I mean, they are superb. So I'm going to put a little bit of both in, because I like to have spice in everything that we cook with. Awesome. Okay. Now the last thing that's going to go in is garlic. And everybody who watches me cook, you know that I love garlic in everything. Everything garlic. It's so good. But I love roasted garlic. Roasted garlic brings out such a beautiful, smooth, not a hot garlic. Sometimes you have to have hot garlic. But when you want it to have a smooth, really rich garlic flavor, you're going to roast it. So I'll show you what it looks like. And then save that extra olive oil. You can use it all weekend long if you have extra at the end after you scoop it all out. I'm just going to pop all those garlic cloves in. Oh yeah, you can use a little bit. It's so good when you, if you're dipping a little bread in there, very, very good. Okay, I'm going to stir that up. Okay, we're ready for the mushrooms. So when I went ahead and peeled them, cleaned the mushrooms, and what you want to do for this recipe, it's really a preference. What is your family going to love? You can either get the stems off or keep the stems on. When you serve them, it's such a prettier look if you keep the stems on. I'm just saying. That's how I like to have them. And when you go to a warm, you have, mushrooms that you have at the side as a side table. They usually keep the stems on too, because it's such a prettier way to serve them. So I have 3½ pints. There's 3½ pints in there. Now this cooks down really well, especially when you're doing it on the slow cooker. You won't have a chance to change it in the Instant Pot. But in the slow cooker, if it goes down, cooks down, you can add more mushrooms because they just shrink, shrink, shrink. So, and that's it. This is it. This is all you have to do. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put the lid on. I'm just stirring them just to make sure that the liquid is covered. And so you see the liquid in this. I'll lift it up and show you. The liquid doesn't really cover all of the mushrooms. Now I know as soon as it gets, for this, because I know how much liquid is in here, I'm just going to add that leftover bottle over here that I have. And this one, this is a Pinot Noir, so it's okay. I'm not going to add all of it. I'm just going to add just a smidgen more. I might as well just add it. Okay. It'll be that much better for when I use it for soup, which I think I should change next week's recipe to French onion soup with this leftover broth. I might just do that. We'll see. Okay, so that's it. We'll just we're going to put the lid on. Make sure now when you put your Instant Pot, make sure you have the steam off You don't want to have it vented. You want to have it in the off position. And it'll, as soon as you lock it, it'll make that beautiful noise. It's ready to go. Now, we're going to cook this on manual for 13 minutes. High pressure, you know, the highest. And it's going to be 13 minutes. And then you can do a slow release. And if you need them right away, because you're going to leave for a party like I am, I'm not bringing them to the party. but if you need them, you can actually just turn it off and let the steam go. But I just, you know, let them sit. These are going to take a while, so I'm just going to let them sit. Okay, so I'm going to hit the manual, and I'm going to go 13 minutes, and it'll just get started. Okay, so I am not going to forget. Let's go ahead and talk about who won the spices and the bars and the shake. All right, so remember in the beginning of this video, if you missed it and you're just catching us midway, if you say hello, who you are, where you're from, you get a chance to win Dano's spices. So the person who won Dano's spices, she is a local gal, and I'm so excited, Danielle. Okay, Danielle Johnson, you won the spices. She's a local person. She's out of Ponte Vedra area. We were planning on taking a Pure Barre class together, so hey, what the hey? I'll get you your spices. And I don't have the extra canister sitting here. Dano's mailing me some. I'm actually almost out. I have one of each. So Danielle, you'll have no problem getting them. Okay, congratulations, Danielle. I'm so excited. Okay, now the person who won the bars, these are our s'mores bars. And if I'm telling you what, this is one of our seasonal bars. They sold out so fast. And our company is so genius that they were able to bring them back. So they're back for a limited time. So I ordered some more. So the person who shared this on her wall, on her Facebook wall, is the one who's the lucky winner. All right, so Janelle Lynn Griffin. This is the first time I think that you shared on your wall too. So congratulations, I'm very excited for you. I'll send you a private message and let you know. All right, now drum roll for the shake. All right, because we just re-released cookies and cream, you get a choice between cookies and cream, pumpkin spice, or chocolate mint. That is amazing. So Kathleen, I don't know if this is your second time. I think it was your second time sharing. Kathleen Gaumont? Yeah, I think this is your second time, Kathleen. Congratulations, you won the shake. All right, so go ahead and put that back like that. And that's it. That's the end of our show. How quick and easy is that? So this is going to build up pressure, just so if you're new to having an Instant Pot, it's just going to build up the pressure automatically. And then as soon as it hits the pressure, the countdown will begin, and then you can just let it naturally release until you actually need to have them. Now remember, when you serve these, serve them with some of the juice, because a lot of people love to have the juice on the side, especially if you're serving them as a side dish at your dinner table. It's a wonderful gravy if you want to add a little bit of cornstarch and put it on, reduce it down. Yum, 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 yum. You can make it almost like a glaze. Yummy, you can do that. But serve a little bit of the broth so people can use that. And then save the rest of the broth. Freeze it. If you have extra mushrooms, they freeze really well. But save the broth because it really makes a fabulous soup. I can't even tell you. So, so, so good. Or if you're making beef stew, you can use that as your broth for the beef stew. I mean, it's just so beautiful. Okay, well, that's our show. And I want to thank you so much for joining us. I know that the holiday season is upon us, and we're all just like going 50 miles every which way, right? A lot of kids are getting out of school. My daughter's on her way with her girlfriend and her boyfriend. They're going to be visiting, and then she'll be able to stay. So if you have kids that are driving home and they finish their finals, my thoughts and prayers are for everybody to have safe travels this holiday season as you're starting to kick it into gear, and make sure you're breathing deep, having your liquid gold if you have it, and if you don't, you need to connect with me so you can get some, because you want to maintain stress-free. And I'm going to do a video about stress and what it's doing to our bodies. as far as, you know, keeping us in an acidic base. I did an earlier video in the beginning of the week about acid in our bodies, not being in a pH balance. So I get a lot of feedback from that. So I think I'm going to continue to do some more videos along those lines. So look forward to seeing those, because it's really important as we get through these holidays to try to stay as stress-free as we possibly can. With that, I'm having a sip of my liquid gold, and I want to say good night to everybody. Have a wonderful, blessed weekend. Don't forget to say hello, who you are, where you're from, and share this on your wall, and make it a great weekend. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next Wednesday at Come Shop With Me, and for sure next Friday on Come Cook With Me. Now, if you've missed any of our shows, remember you could go to YouTube and search Lifestylebylauraj, and you'll find all of the cooking shows that we have out there that we've made. So thanks again for joining us, and just hope you have a great weekend. Bye for now.